Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we returned to Stalwart, and we are chatting with, I believe this is the mayor, or at the very least, some kind of town leader, and she's explaining why she wants us to go and find Durgan's battery. Why is Durgan's steel so special?
Because you can shave stone with it, cleave cast iron in two, and the stuff's as rare as it is remarkable.
In her enthusiasm, Renengild shifts on the balls of her feet. She props one bent arm on the other, pointing distractedly towards the eaves of the house. If you had a suit of armour made out of that, bet people would get tired of trying to stab you after a while and just give up.
If we could make something even half as good, we'd have a market at our doorstep and work enough for all of Stalwart.
For a split second, her gaze flickers to Uldric. How is it that no one's gotten into Durgan's battery yet?
Where should I start? Ogres, blizzards, or sheer damned inaccessibility?
She ticks the items off on her fingers.
It ain't for lack of trying, I'll tell you that much. Got untold riches in Durgan's steel lying just inside, and never mind the White Forge itself. The Adirans who first settled Stalwart tried to crack it. So did the Valians, and every other cocky adventurer with more metal than sense.
She folds her arms, shaking her head at a pitted floorboard.
But the place has a funny way of sealing itself up. Front door stays shut, the tower entrances are clogged with rubble, and it's been impossible to blast a way in.
Renengild trails off, and for a moment the room is silent, but for the popping and crackling of the fire. What happened to Durgan's battery?
It don't bear dwelling on. There's too many superstitions about that place as it is.
She waves her mangled hand in a broad crescent, averting her gaze.
Killed each other off, or so the old books say.
He glares at Renengild through hooded eyes.
Plenty of tales to go around, but none of them open the battery. And the last thing people need is another reason to fear the place.
Oh, I'm not superstitious. But I would like to know why people are afraid. I want the information, please. Kith do enjoy their ghost stories, though the Glanfathans take theirs very seriously.
Whatever it was, the other Pargrin dwarven settlements in the White March, Bone Picker, the Hawk, and the rest, emptied out not long after, moved to gentler, greener lands.
Had the right idea, if you ask me.
I don't see why you need the White Forge to make good steel.
Finally, someone talking sense.
He raises his knife and half-peeled apple to the fire in a dramatic gesture of exasperation.
Durgan's steel wasn't just good. It was some of the best. We need the best if we're going to keep Stalwart alive.
She glares at Uldric even while she speaks to you.
No one alive today has seen the White Forge, but the old stories tell that it was powerful, glowed white-hot, and gave off a steady, even heat, unlike any other furnace. Let better-schooled folk puzzle over how the thing was built. I just want to see it put to use.
Okay. Tell me about the Pargrin dwarves.
Pargrin's a word in their language. Means traveler. They've been wanderers for generations, but I couldn't tell you much more.
Alright. Any idea where I should begin?
The battery's up the mountain to the north. A good hike away.
She jerks her head in the direction of the slope behind the house.
Near Galvino's place, huh?
Uldric says it in a breezy tone, but Renengild falls suddenly silent, consternation hardening the lines on her face. He smiles and draws his knife across the apple again.
So it is. Though I was going to suggest dealing with that ogre camp before anything.
She compresses her thin lips into a frown. Who's Galvino?
Mestre Galvino, as the old crosspatch prefers it, lives by himself and keeps the wilder and beasts at bay through sheer foulness of his temper.
She means to say he's a skilled smith and animancer, who's lived in the shadow of Durgan's battery for over a decade.
He looks over his shoulder at you and Renengild. I'd say that's worth mentioning, Sagani folds her arms.
And he butters his bread on both sides and fits his left shoe before his right. But that's neither here nor there.
She crosses her arms and crumples the page in one tightening fist. Perception 14 and intellect 14. Ximena is smart and she sees things. That's where she thrives in this world. You seem flustered all of a sudden. Did he do something to anger you? It seems odd that he lives out in the wilderness by himself. I see. Ooh. I'm drawn to this. You seem flustered all of a sudden. Did he do something to anger you?
Me and the rest of the town. He knows better than to linger at our gates.
What happened with Let's try that again. What happened with Galvino?
Old lunatic finally went too far, and we sent word to the Valiant academies. I don't like speaking on it, but if you want to get his guff, just remind him that we gave him the boot.
I see.
Ain't nobody here fond of the man, but he's a clever hand and a quick study. It's a fool who thinks he stayed so close to the battery without figuring something about it.
You said as much to the last party, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since. Maybe they didn't run afoul of Baragon's ogres after all.
She raises a grey eyebrow at him. Aldrich shrugs and turns back to the fire.
Just watch your step. Galvino's place is a ways east of the battery, and folk who pass it bring unsettling tales.
Tell me about the ogre camp.
Belongs to Flames That Whisper, Matron Baragon's clan. Hunters tell me they've been active of late.
Hunting elk and otherwise minding their own damn business.
He pops an apple wedge into his mouth and chews it aggressively.
Minding their own business. Never mind the latest expedition's disappearance or the broken stockade.
She pinches the bridge of her nose, squinting.
I'm saying we shouldn't agitate him further.
He makes to toss another slice of peel into the fire, but he fumbles and drops his knife. He bends to pick it up, cursing. What does this matron have to do with anything? If you want me to kill some ogres, just say so, aggressive. I'll gladly confront Baragon if it will help Stalwart, benevolent. It's not my problem if your villagers can't defend themselves. I've got bigger things to do, cool. Yeah, I guess how do the ogres play into all of this? Because, I mean, we've met ogres. There was some living beneath Cad Nua. And yeah, one of them was fine. He was saying like, oh yeah, we were living, like we were peaceful, and then we came to Cad Nua, and then she was called Zola. I remember that. Zola went mental, and then we started eating each other. Like, it doesn't seem to me that ogres in this world are like mindless, drooling beasts that are just like, oh, we make trouble, blah blah blah, beat down barricade, blah blah blah. Like, they seem to be like logical thinking things. They have a tribal society, yeah, but just because something lives in a tribal society doesn't make them beasts or mindless or anything like that. I guess my question here is like, is this some like long-standing hatred that these two communities have? Or is this a case where the ogres are, you know, mindless attackers? Or have you done something that's pissed them off? Like, what's going on here? What's going on here? What does this matron have to do with anything?
The brawl outside was just the latest patch of trouble. The ogre clans are getting bolder, and we'll all sleep easier knowing they aren't circling our walls. Also, Baragons like to have whatever the last expedition found. Rumor has it they disappeared near her turf.
Oh, I was like, what does this mean? No, okay. I thought what this was saying is that Baragon would like to have whatever the last expedition found. No, it's she's likely to have whatever the last expedition found because they disappeared near where she lives. Okay. She crosses her arms and looks over to Aldrich.
Killing a matron will only make our problems worse. The way to approach Baragon is with your hands held high.
If anyone could parley with an ogre, I suppose it'd be you. But they aren't known for their patience with prattle.
Renengild shrugs with a heavy sigh. Got it.
Good. Before you leave town, stop by the Grave's Rest. Most visitors to Stalwart spend some time there, so Hafric and his patrons may be able to give you the lay of the land.
Okay. Don't know about you, but I'm parched all of a sudden. Actually, I want to ask you about something.
What's on your mind?
Okay. I have questions about Durgan's battery in the White Forge.
The Pargrin dwarves guarded it like a mother bear. It's a wonder we know as much as we do.
Okay, fair play. We've asked all those questions. I want to ask you about something else.
What's on your mind?
I want to know more about Stalwart.
Adir founded us back in their colonial days to supply ore to the Empire. Saw a fair bit of traffic from both sides of the White March then.
She rubs the nub of her shortened ring finger.
But after the Deerwood claimed independence, Defiance Bay found cheaper places to get ore. Didn't have much reason to maintain our supply routes.
Isn't Stalwart part of the Deerwood?
Officially. Though with the state the roads are in, you wouldn't guess it.
Tell me some of the more important places around town.
Here in the center? Let's see. The Grave's Rest is next door. Hafric can set you up with a room and a hot meal there. The fishery's just on the edge of the lake, and the Temple of Andra is next to it. No one keeps a secret like Lavda. Or so I'm told. A few folk live in this part of town, too. Seemed a lot safer before the ogres broke through the western gate. Thiersch lives next to the old mine shaft, and Tana, the old mine overseer, is next door to me.
She jerks her thumb towards the wall. What do you do here?
I'm the mayor. Or so I'm reminded every time there's a game shortage, ogre attack, or a neighborly dispute. I'm a builder by trade, though. Traveled all over Air Glonfoth and the Deerwood in my younger days, but ended up back here anyway.
She gives you a vague smile that's gone as quickly as it appears. Let's talk about something else.
What's on your mind?
Can you tell me anything about the last expedition that went to Durgan's battery?
They didn't volunteer much, and I knew better than to ask.
She scratches her jaw, frowning.
I've seen all types charging through here. Professional companies with shiny new equipment as brazen as you please, and hopeless runts with nothing but tattered leathers. But these folk, I don't know what they were after, and the way they looked at you made you feel cold all over.
Oh, shit. Was this the leaden key? Was this the leaden key? She shakes her head as if dislodging a bad dream.
Wish I could tell you more. What's on your mind?
Farewell. I am deeply concerned. And, okay, this is all stealing. We can unlock shit. No one minds us unlocking
what
shit.
What did I tell you?
But I'm not going to steal right in front of them.
Something else you need?
Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. Earlier, you said I should make peace with Matron Durgan.
About the only thing folk here haven't tried. Killing one more matron won't change things for long.
He shakes his head.
Besides, her clan's flames that whisper. The one that attacked us was Wolf with many mouths. I'd know him anywhere.
They're cut from the same cloth, Aldrich. Only a matter of time before Baragon marches through that gap in our walls.
At the sound of Renengild's voice, Aldrich's shoulders stiffen. His jaw works in a silent but furious retort. Okay, so she's arguing the point of like, oh, well, yeah, they're a different clan, but they're all ogres. Therefore, it's only a matter of time. And he's saying, no. Just because they're all ogres don't mean shit, they're different clans. They're different clans, so like, why fight this one group that hasn't done anything to us when it's an entirely separate group that's coming and fucking us over? Okay. Do you know anything about Durgan's battery?
It's a fool's hope. A fantasy that's kept these parts inhabited longer than they should be.
He glances around the old house and its worn furnishings.
They say the Pargrunan dwarves developed Durgan's steel, became powerful, rich. And then one day, they locked their doors and died.
He shrugs, turning his palms towards you.
Nothing like a mystery to stir folk up. Most of Stalwart is convinced that some Pargrin secret will save us all. But that don't stop them from whispering a prayer when they pass the old fortress.
A sour smirk crosses his lips. You seem to disagree with Renengild on quite a few matters.
Mother's convinced that a magic forge will turn this frozen crack into a hub of civilization. She can't accept this place is dying.
This is your home. You can't just give up on it.
Give up on what? There's nothing here.
He scrapes the sole of his boot on the straight but weathered floorboards. What do you do here?
I'm a carpenter. Mother's a builder. So it felt like a good fit at the time.
He presses his lips into a wry frown.
Not that we've got a lot of new folk to build houses and furnishings for. These days, I spend most of my time fixing up the stockade.
Farewell. Okay. Okay, so what do we have? So we have... Find Galvino's hut. Find Durgan. And just find a way to unlock shit. Okay. We already have the White March Part 2. Did we always have that? Did we always have that? I can't remember. Okay, there's that. Okay, yeah, that's a bounty. Okay. Yeah, I'm just taking a minute to remember what I've got going on here. Okay. Okay, got it. Fish. Judging from the large hole behind the gills, it can be safely assumed that this trophy fish was shot with a pistol and not caught by a hook or an... I like that. I like just bastard fish. Boom. I find that amusing. Okay, you don't have anything else. Alrighty then. Yeah, let's have a look around Stalwart. Oh, been looking everywhere for you, Ximena. Taildor. The man is sweating despite the cold. He opens his mouth to speak, but all that comes out is a loud hacking cough. He bends forward, bracing his hands on his thighs while he heaves and gasps. After a lengthy duration, he raises a finger, still panting. Oh, Hayfrick's fault. Damn fool sent me to the other side of town, looking for you. At last, he stands again. He wipes his dripping brow with the back of his hand and then offers that hand to you in greeting. Ew, no! Shake his hand, diplomatic. Pick your nose, then shake his hand, clever. You know, I think I'm coming down with something. I'm probably contagious, deceptive. Keep that to yourself. We're shaking the front of his hand, not the back, and it's just sweat. It's not like he rammed his hand down the back of his trousers, wiped his arse crack, and then is, giving his hand out to it. It's just sweat. Then that's what I'm thinking. Would Ximena be thinking that? Again, it's such a minor thing. It's such a minor thing to me. I can't imagine anyone being offended by that. And especially when he wiped his brow with the back of his hand. Not with the front of his hand, the back. So we wouldn't be shaking the sweat side. Like, this feels like such a non-issue to me. I guess maybe if you had, like, OCD, or if you had, like, an extreme germ phobia, maybe then I could understand someone being like, yeah, no, absolutely. But it's not like he wiped his arse crack. It's not like he wiped, or if he shoved it down the front of his trousers and, like, I don't know, messed with himself a wee bit. Like, why would you... That's such a weird fucking image in my head. Just like, hello there, 1 second, zip. Like it's not like he's touched anything that I'm, like, particularly offended by. As I said, it just seems like such a non-issue to me. Pleasure to meet you. I'm the, captain of the militia around here. Nice to meet you, diplomatic. Really? I didn't see you during the ogre attack. What's this about? Well, maybe he was doing other shit. Is Ximena the kind of person to say, nice to meet you? I don't think she is. If she was talking to a mark, and she was trying to, put herself across a certain way, then yeah, but, like, to the everyday person, like, I don't... She's not trying to befriend this guy. Really? I didn't see you during the ogre attack. Were you drunk? Were you drunk, sir? See, I was, guarding the Grave's Rest. Someone had to make sure those ogres didn't burn it down like they did Katie's house. Damn shame, that. He frowns and shakes his head solemnly. I wanted to catch you before you went running off into the wilds. See, there's a few dangerous folk you might be on the lookout for. Plus, if you're heading out to Longwatch Falls, I thought you might... I think we don't need that extra word there. I thought you could pick up a thermal pearl for me. He looks away and twists the toe of his boot into the snow. You want me to find a thermal pearl for you? That's the thing. I already found it. I just need someone else to go out and get it. Saw it in the hot springs up near Longwatch Falls. Would have grabbed it myself, but that's when I looked around and saw the Lagufeth. What is a Lagufeth? How do you pronounce this thing, and should we be scared? Must have been 50 of them. He spreads his arms. I get the feeling this is probably a fisherman's tale. Maybe one. I would have fought them, but I started to wonder what the rest of Stalwart would do without me. So I ran. For the sake of the village, of course. What is a thermal pearl, anyway? They form in the hot springs. Something to do with all the minerals in the water. Ooh. Smell kind of funny, but they're full of minerals. Just have to crumble them into a pint. He grins, and you notice that his gums are bleeding. Oh, he's a drug addict! This man a drug addict! What are you talking about? Just trying to keep my teeth as long as I can. This game and fish diet ain't easy on any... Is he... I'm second guessing now. Is this actually... I feel in my heart that he's a drug addict. I feel in my heart that this is basically cocaine. Why has cocaine come up twice in recent recordings? Like once in last session and now this one. What is this? Like I said, the pearls in one of them thermal pools near Longwatch Falls shouldn't be hard to spot. Tell me more about Longwatch Falls. It's east of Stalwart. Got some nice views of the valley, but most folk avoid it these days. Plenty of wilder nearby, and it only takes a few inches of snow to block the pass. If you're heading out that way, I suggest talking to Thirsk. He might have something to help you deal with the Lagufeth. That's all I need to know. Stop by Thirsk's place before you leave town. His is the house next to the mines. He's a veteran hunter who knows the wilds better than anyone. Maybe he can tell me if you're talking bullshit, if you're actually being honest. It is like, you do need the minerals. I don't know. I know what I feel in my heart, but I don't know what the game is actually thinking. You said something about dangerous folk in the wilderness. We get our share of crazies out here. Most of them aren't even from the village. He laughs at his own joke. Latest group I'd heard were the Gleaming Society and the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull. But Renengild set aside some bounty money to see that these troublemakers were taken care of. You bring me the heads of their leaders and I'll give you the payment. I want to know more about the Gleaming Society. Crazy pack of radicals that want to topple the government and kill the wealthy. What do you mean they're crazy? What do you mean they're crazy? They're saying eat the rich! How is this crazy? These guys sound great! Makes the War of Defiance look like a food fight. Duke Avar and the Regent of Red Ceres both declared them illegal, which is probably the only thing those two would agree on. Anyway, check Longwatch Falls to the east. That's where they were last seen. Who leads the Sisterhood of the Slaked Skull? That'll be Meltzler. All of the members of the Sisterhood worship Berath. By sending as many folks back to the wheel as they can, he shivers. Okay, now this sounds dodgy, a Sisterhood of Murderers. They've been poking around Durgan's battery and Whale only knows why, but you can understand why no one around here was pleased to hear about it. Passed through town recently. Didn't stay long, but they stopped at the Temple of Ondra. You might see if Laughter knows something. If you come across them, be careful. They're unpredictable. Let's talk about... Oh, no, wait, this is me. Let's talk about something else. What do you want to know about? The farewell. Okay. Interesting. We'll check out the bar. I I get the feeling.
Feels like home. Only thing this place needs is some sliced blubber and a dozen romping foxes.
I get the feeling that if we give that guy the pearl, one of two things is either going to happen. Either he is being honest and will... Oh! Hello, we've got actual singing! Okay, I can't listen to this. We can play it in the background. We can play it in the background. What the fuck was I saying? You distracted me, madam. Okay, so either we're gonna come back and he's gonna have like pearly whites and he's gonna be like, my teeth are great, or we're gonna come back and he'll have died of an overdose and people are gonna be like, why did you give him the drugs? Why did you do this? I don't know. A child. Hello.
Ooh, still can't feel my fingers.
Okay. Feara. Okay. Hello?
Thought I'd found shelter when I stumbled across this little village. Guessing you did too, huh?
Feara raises a frosty mug to you. Even though the warmth of the hearth reaches you here, her hands are wrapped in weirwool and her ears muffled by a hat. Her face has the taut, wind-beaten look of someone who's recently come from the road.
As much blood as there was in the streets, I'm lucky the ale's still flowing.
She takes a drink, and as she tilts her head back, you see a bruise purpling her jaw and the crimson bloom of scraped knuckles. What exactly happened to you?
Thought all the whispers about Durgan's battery were just village superstition. And maybe they are. But I might have been on my guard if I'd listened. I was part of an expedition, hunting for relics from Durgan's battery. And picked up a good haul, too.
She takes a slow swallow of her beer.
So it figures that's when the winds pick up and the sky starts dumping snow. We lost sight of the road. Meanwhile, something else found us.
Ooh.
Took Liam out before we even realized we were surrounded. And then we see him coming out of the snow. These little four-armed wilder. Lagufoth, they're called.
A Lagufoth, okay. She shakes her head, staring at the embers in the fire pit.
Quick little bastards. Francesca and I held them off as long as we could, but when they filled her full of darts, I turned tail and ran.
I don't know if this is the same voice actress, but this sounds a lot like Ashley from Mass Effect. This sounds a lot like Ashley from Mass Effect.
Found my way here and thank my luck for escaping the Lagufoth. Then come to find out that this town's got an ogre problem.
And it could just be an American lady with a somewhat deep voice. I can't tell. I can't tell whether or not I'm hearing things. She laughs bitterly. What are you going to do now? At least you made it, Stoic. You can't mean to leave those relics behind. Rational. I'm sorry to hear about your friends. Benevolent. Quit your whining. Ooh. I mean... You can't mean to leave those relics behind. I mean, she could. She could. If her entire group got taken out... Okay, not 5. Not 2. I think it is 1. What are you going to do now?
I need to get those artifacts. Not that I'm in any shape to go after them myself. But I can't afford to return to Defiance Bay without something to show for my expedition.
Apprehension creeps into her expression. She stares into her mug, swirling its contents.
But you might be able to get past the Lagufoth. You're light on your feet.
We really are. She looks up from her mug, hopeful.
I'll give you a cut for anything you bring back, of course. I ain't asking for charity. I just can't afford to go home empty-handed.
She brushes her nails along the side of her mug as that anxious look returns. Tell me what you're looking for.
Like I said, we were treasure hunting near Durgan's battery when we were ambushed. What else do you want to know?
Excuse me? Renengild told me that another expedition came through before I arrived. Was that you? Why are these relics so important to you? Remind me where I can find you at a caravan. Examine her teeth. What do you know about Durgan's battery? Goodbye. I want to... I hope this doesn't go. I hope we... Oh, there goes my timer. Yeah, we'll finish this conversation off first. Renengild told me that another expedition came through before I arrived. Was that you?
Who?
She looks momentarily confused.
No, that would have been somebody else. We didn't meet with Renengild, or anyone else in town for that matter. We were operating on our own.
She looks into the fire pit, taking another drink. Why are these relics so important to you?
We took out several loans to pay for our trip out here. I'm gonna have trouble if I don't pay them back.
She scratches the back of her neck. Remind me where I can find your caravan.
What's left of it should be near Durgan's battery. If you stumble across the Logothoth, you'll know you're close.
What do you know about Durgan's battery?
Just that it's been locked up tight for 200 years on account of those dwarves having a row.
Do you mean row? Because I'm thinking, row of what? You have a row of something, or you row a boat. I'm thinking this... I think they mean row, as in an argument.
Which means that any trinkets from inside fetch a nice price. Sorry, I'm more of a businesswoman than a historian.
Fair play, fair play. Ximena, what has got you so focused on her teeth? As Feara talks, you notice that her teeth and gums are stained with dark spots. What does this mean? Goodbye. Is everyone doing drugs? Is everyone doing drugs here? I am confused and concerned and... hopefully it'll be explained. Hopefully it will be explained soon. However, that will have to wait until another episode because I am out of time for this one. So, until the next episode, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members, such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davis, CGG, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.